It would be an understatement to say that Murderbot is getting hotter. Murderbot and Mensah nearly died in a blazing cliffhanger last week, just hours after the Preservation Alliance survey crew and Murderbot had a vital but tense discussion about what the former's free will would mean for everyone on this expedition. Although the pair's near miss is quickly resolved in Episode 6, Command Feed, the show's overall tension is increased in various ways, particularly by establishing a decisive, violent breaking point that would end Murderbot's developing bond with its would-be discovered family. Mensah and Murderbot haven't advanced with the hopper in the interim. However, when one of Mensah's panic attacks decides to occur, this pair has a moment of sincere, non-transactional kindness in contrast to Leebeebee's oppressive deceit. Murderbot uses Sanctuary Moon, the only balm it is familiar with, because it wants to help but is unaware how to shield a customer from emotional discomfort. On one of the hopper's screens, it projects the selected episode, promising a skeptical Mensah that this soothing episode has synchronized breathing. In fact, Mensah's tense nerves are calmed by following the prescribed practice. Murderbot appears both surprised and comforted by this strange, amazing SecUnit as she memorizes the episode's soothing mantra, Murderbot, still leaking from the horrific knife wound it received during the hopper's crash, is shown face down on the floor as the tender exchange comes to a conclusion. After an unknown amount of time, Murderbot awakens on its back with multiple folded blankets supporting its head. Mensah fixes the leak by pouring the hopper's lubricant supply into Murderbot's arm port, and he hovers close by. Motivated, Murderbot proposes that they use a portion of its own brain circuitry to replace the hopper's burned-out control coil. It's cloned tissue intended for high-speed data processing, even though the wires may be composed of cloned organic tissue. Mensah reluctantly slices through 2 layers of Murderbot's flesh, revealing a spine composed of linked iron bolts, and removes a piece of nerve tissue from the spinal column of the squeamish vegetarian. Mensah laughs half-giddy, Murderbot makes a dry joke, and the hopper's systems come back to life. Newcomer Leebeebee is intent on wooing everyone in the area while the other scientists finish packing up at the habitat. Since Gurathan ignored her in the previous episode and a horrified Murderbot didn't return her boundary-crossing and dehumanizing, for want of a better term, advances, she is directing her excruciatingly awkward flirtations against Bharadwaj this week. Bharadwaj is shocked when a stranger kisses her injured hand, but Leebeebee's inquiries concerning the local monster that caused Bharadwaj's scar are cut short by Gurathan's unanswered calls to Mensah and Murderbot. A subsequent exchange between the 3 characters highlights the sharp structural differences between the Corporation Rim and the Preservation Alliance, as they have little choice but to wait and worry. The Corporation Rim's requirement that potential parents seek a license before having children is beyond Bharadwaj and Gurathan's comprehension. In the Alliance, the community helps to pay for the costs, primarily through science-gathering missions like this one. Sure, newborns can be resource-devouring black holes, their paraphrased words, not mine. An impatient Leebeebee reveals her actual intentions by drawing a gun on them and demanding access to their hub system after much back and forth, during which Leebeebee's attempts to get the team's survey results are met with Gurathan's refusal to disclose.